Hello and welcome to the ghost town of Pinto. Pinto is gone. There's no houses left in the area, but there are some farms that are now on top of what used to be the Pinto ghost town. But on the way there, we came across this old graveyard that we didn't even know existed. We just saw a sign as we were driving on this dirt road and decided to turn off and check it out. There are a decent amount of graves here, but nothing new. These are all really old. Looks like I think the earliest, some of the people who were here born in the early 1800s and latest deaths were probably in the mid to early 1900s, so the graves here are pretty old. And we just stopped by here. There was a small little village just northeast of here that was settled, and people lived there for about 20-30 years, and then it was abandoned once the water dried up. So this is where what was left of that town. There's no buildings left or anything. At least looking at the map, we couldn't see any buildings. We didn't actually head up the road any further. We just stopped here, and then after that, headed off to our new destination. But I did find a plaque that just talks more about the town and what it was and why it was there. So I took a picture of it, and if you want to read more about the town, you can pause it and go ahead and read it. After we headed out from here, we headed onward to the very end of the road. Here's a sign, by the way, but we headed to the very end of the road and came across this old hotel. It was kind of an impartial hotel. It wasn't advertised as a full hotel. People did live there and own the house who lived there, but they also rented out to people who came by and wanted to stay there on their way to different destinations. Here's the Pinto Cemetery. We stopped by here as we were heading back over to the actual town itself. I'm not really sure. I don't think that hotel or partial hotel, whatever it was really located in any town per se. It's kind of on its own. But we did come back to Pinto, which is probably about 10-15 miles away from that hotel, and decided to check out this graveyard. There are a couple newer graves because there are people that actually live here in this area. They just farm here. I don't know if they live here year round or if they're just here during the summer months. I'm not really sure, but there's a small community here, which is an interesting place to live way up here in the mountains with not really anything around. It would take a while to get to a grocery store. But we headed back over and came down the road until we came to the actual town site itself. So the town itself is no longer there, as I mentioned earlier. It's just a big farmland now, but here's what it used to look like when it was around, and then I took an after picture. You can see the mountain range is exactly the same, but there's just some houses, but none of which were from the ghost town itself. All right, thanks for watching.